She told me, "You're too boring. He'll always be more fun." So I emptied the bank account, took the house, and served her divorce papers before she got home. I'm a 36-year-old guy, born and raised in Texas, and I thought I'd done everything right. Married the girl I loved, worked hard, saved for our future, and built what I thought was a solid life together. Her name's Rachel. We met in college. She was the outgoing, adventurous type, always the life of the party. I was more grounded, a bit quiet, the guy who'd make sure everyone got home safe. Opposites attract, right? At least, that's what I used to believe. We got married at 27, bought a modest house just outside Austin, and things were fine. Not always perfect, but whose marriage is? We had our ups and downs, work stress, family stuff, but I always believed we were on the same team. Or at least, I thought we were. Lately, though, something felt off. She started working late. A lot. At first, I didn't question it. She's a marketing manager, and deadlines can be brutal. But then the little things started stacking up. Her phone was suddenly glued to her, turned upside down when left on the counter. Texts answered in another room. She was more distant, more distracted, and, honestly, colder. I tried convincing myself I was being paranoid. We've all heard those stories about guys letting their insecurities ruin good marriages. I didn't want to be that guy. But one Tuesday night, things clicked in a way I couldn't ignore. She said she had a late client dinner. Around 9 p.m., I realized she left her iPad at home. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear on everything. I went to check the weather for the weekend because we'd planned a little fishing trip. That's when a message popped up. It was from someone saved as Lena, work. The preview showed, "Can't wait to see you tonight. Last night was amazing. You always know how to." I didn't even finish reading it. My stomach dropped. It didn't take long to figure out that Lena wasn't Lena. I tapped into the messages. What followed was weeks' worth of texts, photos, reservations, private jokes, talk about how I was too boring to notice anything. I sat there numb. I didn't yell, didn't throw anything, just sat there staring at the screen, rereading the same disgusting words over and over. And you know what hit me harder than the cheating? The fact that she genuinely thought I'd never notice. That I was just some clueless, dependable husband who'd sit at home while she played around. I didn't cry, not even for a second. Something flipped in me that night. The trust was gone. Whatever love I had left, it burned off like fog in the sun. So, I stood up, walked into the bedroom, opened the closet, and for the first time, I noticed just how much of our life was built by me. The house. I paid most of the mortgage. The cars? Both in my name. The joint account? Well, it was joint for a reason. I didn't rush. I wasn't sloppy. I opened my laptop and started laying the groundwork. First step, called my buddy Steve. He's a divorce attorney. We hadn't talked in months, but that night, he answered on the second ring. "Damn, man. You okay?" "No, but I will be." I told him everything. He didn't ask stupid questions like, "Are you sure?" He just said, "All right, let's get to work." Steve walked me through everything. Texas is a community property state, but there are ways to protect yourself if you play it right, and fast. Turns out, because most assets were under my name or funded before marriage, I had options. By midnight, I had a plan. I didn't want revenge. I wanted freedom. But if she thought I was going to roll over, cry, and wait for her to come home with her half-hearted apologies, she was dead wrong. I didn't sleep that night, not even for a minute. But for once, it wasn't because of stress or heartbreak. My mind was wired, focused. The first thing I did was check every account, joint savings, checking, investment. I'd contributed nearly 80% of the money over the years. Rachel worked, sure, but I was the primary earner. She always liked to spend more than save, anyway. Steve had been clear. Move your half. Only your half. Document everything. No drama. Keep it clean. By sunrise, I'd opened a new personal account at a different bank, then transferred exactly 50% of every joint account into it, down to the last cent. I even printed out transaction records, screenshots, timestamps. I wasn't about to give her or any court a reason to say I was being unfair. Then came the house. Rachel always insisted the house be in both our names because we're partners. Except, when we first bought it, my dad had helped with the down payment. And guess whose name was still first on the deed? Steve filed an emergency motion that morning to freeze any attempts to sell or refinance the property. Texas law gets tricky, but since I had proof that most of the equity came from my premarital funds and family help, it gave me an edge. By 10 a.m., the divorce paperwork was drafted. Infidelity clauses, asset protection, everything. Steve even looped in a process server he knew. The plan was simple. Serve her the papers the moment she walked through the door that evening. I spent the afternoon quietly packing up a few essentials. Not to leave, but to make space. I wasn't going anywhere. Not yet. This was my house. I wanted her to walk in and realize that everything she risked for some cheap thrill was about to fall apart. I sat at the kitchen table, sipping coffee, watching the clock. At exactly 6:47 p.m., I heard the garage door open. Her car pulled in like it did every other day, as if nothing was wrong. For a moment, I wondered if she felt any guilt at all. The door opened. She walked in, setting her purse on the counter like always. Casual, relaxed. She didn't even notice me sitting there. Then she spotted me. Her face shifted, not to guilt, but to mild surprise. "Oh hey, you're home early." I just nodded. "Yeah, we need to talk." She tilted her head, frowning a bit. "What's up?" Her voice was sweet, rehearsed even. I could tell she thought I was about to bring up something minor. A bill, groceries, maybe plans for the weekend. Right on cue, the doorbell rang. She looked confused. "Are you expecting someone?" "Yeah, you could say that." I stood and walked toward the door. Opened it. There stood the process server, dressed like any regular delivery guy, holding a manila envelope. "Rachel?" he asked, confirming her name. Yeah? You've been served." He handed her the envelope and walked away without another word. Professional. Clean. Just like Steve promised. She stood there staring at the papers, confused at first, then reading and watching the color drain from her face. Her eyes darted up at me. "Wait, what the hell is this?" "You tell me, Rachel," I said, keeping my voice steady. "Looks like a divorce agreement. One that includes screenshots of your little client dinners and a full breakdown of our assets." She stammered. Wait, this isn't. "No, you're blowing this out of." "Stop," I interrupted, holding up a hand. "Don't insult both of us by lying." She went quiet, really quiet. For the first time in a long time, she didn't have anything to say. "You thought I wouldn't find out," I continued, locking eyes with her. "You thought I'd just sit here like an idiot while you ran around behind my back." Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. "You wanted freedom?" I said calmly. "Congratulations. You've got it." For a few seconds, we just stood there. Her, gripping those papers like they were some mistake. Me calm, steady, watching her try to process that her double life wasn't so secret anymore. Her voice finally came back, but it wasn't apologetic. Not even close. "You're really doing this? Over a couple of mistakes?" I laughed. Not out of humor. Out of disbelief. "A couple of mistakes? Rachel, this wasn't some drunk accident. You had an entire relationship, dinners, hotels, text messages. I've seen it all." Her face shifted, defensiveness turning into desperation. No, you don't get to just throw our marriage away. We can work through this. You can't seriously think you're keeping the house. Or the money." "Oh, but I can," I said, sliding a folder across the counter. "It's all in there. Bank statements, the loan documents, title deeds. I talked to a lawyer. The house. My name first on the deed. Half the down payment came from my dad before we were even married. The bank account? I moved my share. Not a penny more. You can check. It's all documented." Her hands trembled as she flipped through the papers. You can't do this to me. I didn't do anything to you, Rachel. You did this to yourself." Her eyes welled up. "So what now? You just kick me out? You ruined my life because of one mistake." "One mistake?" I leaned in a little. "You called me boring, Rachel. You joked with him about how clueless I was. You said, and I quote, 'He'll never be enough.'" I paused, letting it hang there. "You didn't just cheat on me. You disrespected me. Over and over." She sat down heavily, like her legs just gave out. I didn't think you'd ever. I never thought you'd." "Yeah, I know. You thought I'd cry, beg, forgive, act like it never happened. That's not happening." For a moment, there was complete silence. Then came the tears. Real ones. Ugly, messy crying. The kind that might have worked on me years ago. Not anymore. "I can change. I swear. It didn't mean anything. It was just, I don't know why I did it," she rambled between sobs. I let her talk. I didn't yell. Didn't throw insults. I just let her sit in it. "I'm not heartless," I finally said. "You've got 30 days. Stay. Figure out where you're going next. After that, the house is mine. The accounts are split. And the divorce goes through." She looked up, mascara streaked. You're serious. Dead serious." The next few weeks were awkward. Quiet. She stayed in the guest room. I went about my days like normal. She tried a few times, making dinner, sitting close on the couch, casual little accidental touches. Like she thought being sweet would erase it. Didn't work. When friends and family found out, reactions were mixed. Her side? Shocked. Some tried to guilt me. "Marriage is hard. Can't you forgive?" "Nah, not this." My side? Proud. A few buddies took me out for drinks, and more than one of them admitted they never liked how Rachel treated me in the first place. When the divorce was finalized, it was clean. I kept the house. Kept my retirement. Split the joint accounts right down the middle. She fought it at first, but the evidence was airtight. She had no leverage. She moved into an apartment across town. We haven't spoken since. No texts. No calls. Nothing. People ask if I'm bitter. Truth? Not really. I'm free. Free of lies. Free of pretending. And if there's one thing I learned from this, it's that quiet doesn't mean weak. I'm curious, what would you guys have done? Would you have handled it differently? Stayed? Forgiven? Or walked away like I did? I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.